Welcome to another edition of the Gridiron Report. I'm Jared Johnson, and I posted recently a series of videos. It was actually 9 videos with interviews with Texas Tech football players from local media day. I actually did 10 interviews, but I messed up the audio on Coy Aiken's interview, and it was a good interview, so I really regret that. I hate that for y'all, but hey, 9 out of 10 is pretty good. I think they were really good interviews, and I think that's for one reason because the players gave really thoughtful answers. Uh, I I didn't plan this, but once I got there on media day, and they started early, and I was early, but they started even earlier than that. The players were already in like their little rooms there in the Jones, and so it was kind of rushed. But it just hit me that I was like, I don't really know these guys, and I'm not saying I ever really know the players, but a lot of these guys, like Taj Brooks, I've probably interviewed. I don't who knows how many times, dozens of times, going back to the recruiting process when he was either a sophomore or junior in high school. That's just an example, but you do get to know them a little bit, being around them, being at the practices, talking to them, at least on a surface level. But it occurred to me, like, I don't know these guys, and if I don't, then I'm willing to bet that for the most part, Texas Tech fans don't know these guys either. So I said, I'm just going to ask them, who are you? Beyond the bio, beyond the information that's kind of presented to us in with a nice bow on the end. Um, who are these guys? What are their families about? Where are they from? What do they like to do? All those kinds of things. And so I asked each one of those guys that, and I honestly, for the most part, not always, but those are my favorite answers. I think Joseph Adedire, his, and this was, I just asked him who he was, and this is what he said. If you watch the video, basically on the field, he wants to be a dog, but off the field, he's all about spreading love. And I thought what he said, it was a powerful message in terms of sharing love that love he's received from his family, the love he's received from his faith, that, he believes in sharing that. And for like a 20-year-old, 21-year-old kid, football player, athlete, a defensive or outside linebacker, for that matter, who he's in hand-to-hand combat almost on a daily basis, battling. And for him to have that kind of philosophy off the field, I think speaks volumes about what kind of young man Joseph Adedire is. So that I was kind of blown away by that, and the fact we kind of fantasy fiction nerded out a little bit too off camera. That was fun. I thought Vinny Scary, what he said about his father working from sunrise to sunset, and then still having the energy to work with him and his brother on football and all that. I thought that was a powerful message about him learning about his work ethic and being from a small town. I thought that was really interesting. I thought Gino Garcia, Texas Tech's kicker, just kind of going in depth a little bit about the psychology of being a kicker in such a high pressure position. I mean, you won't play for 99% of the games, but when you go in, the game's on the line based on what you do on your kick. And there's so many other factors in play, and just dealing with adversity, all that stuff, and meeting with the sports psychologist on a weekly basis. I thought that was really interesting. CJ Baskerville showcased what an intelligent, thoughtful young man he is, as well as being a good football player. I also thought, I didn't know that they're actually changed their coverages after the snap. That's crazy to me, for them to be able to have that kind of communication, and at times be able to change their coverage post snap. I mean, that's next level. That was some X's and O's knowledge I received from him. So I thought that was really cool. Josh Kelly comparing his hometown of north of Fresno to Lubbock. That spoke volumes about why it appears it's been a really good fit so far. And I expect him to be, if not Tech's leading receiver, then right up there with Tech's top threats on offense. I'm trying to think about who else, but those are the main ones that really kind of grabbed my attention, and kind of I took a step back, like, wow, this is really interesting to get to know these players like this. But I really enjoyed the interviews. I really enjoyed the feedback from fans. Really appreciate you watching. Those are all of them from local media day. We'll get some kind of like press press conference type interviews throughout fall camp as well. I got a couple I'm going to post on Inside the Red Raiders that'll be free, and CBS that'll be free. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really appreciate the thoughtful answers from those players, and I really appreciate y'all watching. But for now, thank you for watching, and until next time.